Riyas. I'm basically from Kerala, and I was a student of ABBS from 2013 to 15 batch. And I started my career from Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail Limited, and then moved to Raymond's, and then I started my own business in the year of 2018. ABBS Toastmasters challenged me, gave me the opportunity, gave me a platform to make mistakes and learn from it. Leadership, communication, that is going to be the game changer for anybody.
In this episode of Changemakers by ABBS, we are joined by Mr. Riyas, Marketing and Finance alumnus from the class of 2013-2015 and the founder of Zorucchi and Suitor. From corporate stints at Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail Limited and Vermont to revolutionizing bridal and groomwear rentals, Riyas shares his entrepreneurial journey, the power of NLP, and why leadership begins with communication. Riyas, I welcome you to Changemakers by ABBS podcast. Thank you so much for joining us in today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
So before we begin the actual conversation, would you mind letting us know a bit about yourself, your journey so far, and also the work that you do?
Yes, of course. As I said, I'm Riyas. I'm basically from Kerala, and I was a student of BBS from 2013 to 15 batch. And I started my career from Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail Limited, and then moved to Raymond's, and then I started my own business in the year of 2018 after working 3.5 years in the corporate. And then it's been 7-8 years into the business. We have started small, and we have the business across Kerala right now. And going good. I think that's about me. And the business is all about fashion rental, and that's what we have, like 2 brands. One is for men, for the grooms, and one is for the brides as well. So that's a brief about the brands.
Great. So you started your career from Aditya Birla and from Vermont. So what are some lessons that you learned during this stint that helped you in your entrepreneurial journey?
Yes, I'll start with ABFRL, Aditya Birla Fashion.
Yeah.
That is one of the most organized retail company that I have worked in. And what I have learned from there is the process, the system. So these 2 things are very crucial when it comes to scaling the business. So the way that they run that business, the way that they run hundreds of stores across the nation is something that I have taken from that particular company. And I have implemented a lot of it, modified a lot of it, and that has helped me in scaling of my business. And from Raymond's, it's all about the unparalleled precision about the quality when it comes to the material, when it comes to the making of the suits. They are the king in the suits, and that's for a reason. That's for the uncompromised quality. So that precision is something that I have taken from that particular company as well.
Right. Why did you choose to start something in bridal and groomwear rentals? Because this is not kind of a mainstream business that many would like to focus. So do you have any kind of background in that, and that's why you decided that you will go in this area, or because of your job role that you started with in your career? So how did it come to you, this idea?
Yes, it just reminded me of the time that we have started the discussion. Now, it was a coincidence when I was working in Louis Philippe. One of my friends was getting married, so he wanted to purchase a suit. Not really purchase a suit. He wanted to get a suit. So he had to option, either he has to buy it or to rent it. Now, when you are working in retail, in fashion industry, definitely people will want you to go with them for the purchase. So he called me, and I have accompanied him to a rental store. Now, when you are working in an organized rental firm, the kind of customer service that you extend in your store, and the kind of the way that you run the store is altogether a different approach when it comes to unorganized retail. Now, the experience what we have got from that particular store that we went with him was not up to the mark. The product was not great, the service not great, the attitude was not that great, it was not professional. And what happened with my friend, he wanted to get a particular suit. And when we asked the shopkeeper about the availability of that, he said, it's a rental store. Maybe 3 months later, this trend will change. So what do we do with that stock? Now, that was not something I thought it was a great way of responding, or probably great way of looking at that business, because it's wedding and it's your friend's wedding. And you know how much he wanted that suit. And the response was after that 3 months, what they will do. So this person, one of my friend who was getting married, had to compromise and had to settle for what they have. And that is definitely not a great feeling. And we didn't have much choice then, so we decided to take whatever they had. And while coming back in the car, a friend of mine asked me, "You are in this industry, why don't you do something about it?" So it's all started with that discussion. I have got that background. I know how suit works, and I know uh, one or two things about the whole thing. So that's when the spark came. Then I started doing my research, and I have realized that it's not yet organized, and I found that gap. And that brand we established in 2018 January 2000, I mean January 26th, and the core value that we have followed, that we will be in the best in the industry when it comes to rental. We will be the best when it comes to quality, when it comes to the trend, when it comes to the service, and when it comes to the whole purchase experience for the people who deserve the best for their wedding. And that is how
Right.
it all started.
You have any plan of expansion, expanding it to different cities as well?
Yes, currently we are in 12 districts of Kerala. We have got two more districts to cover, and we will be opening the stores in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka in this year itself. So that's the expansion plan.
You wear actually multiple hats because you are an entrepreneur and also you are a certified NLP practitioner. So I would like you to tell a little bit about like what exactly this NLP practitioner role is, and for our audience, and of course how it is actually helping you in your professional journey, especially in your entrepreneurial journey.
So NLP is science that looks into communication as well as how the mind works. It has got a little bit of psychology. It has got beyond psychology as well. So it's all about a lot of theories that will help you to connect with people in better way. So two different ways it is helping me. One is with the customer in the initial stages when I was working in the store. Whether a person who is coming to your store, whether they will purchase from there or not, depends on different aspects. But the most important thing is the connection that you make with that customer. Now, how to make that instant connection with anybody, that is something that I have learned from NLP, and that is something that I have practiced anything anywhere that I am going to. And the second aspect is with the team. So initial stages that help me to bring up the customers and make that customer pool into a great one. That is where it helped me. And second, as an entrepreneur, definitely when you scale, you will have your team. So most important thing is not making a team, but actually making the people believe in your vision. So you have to communicate that vision, and that needs to go properly, that needs to go effectively and efficiently. And other thing is when you communicate to a team, so what happens, you ask your team to bring up with something, to do something, and end of the day when they actually come and show you what they have done, it will be entirely different than what you have asked for. This is something that always happens in the office scenarios. Now that is because, Nita, if you speak only Chinese and I don't understand Chinese, and if I speak only Hindi and if you don't understand Hindi, then that communication just don't happen. So just like that, every one of us have visual, auditory, kinesthetic language that we use. Now, if you are a visual and if I talk to you in auditory terms, you will not really understand what I'm talking about. So these are the levels of communication that I have explored in NLP, and that has helped me to transform and communicate my vision as well as communicate clearly in their mode of language. So that is saving a lot of time, effort, and energy for me. That is what all about.
Great. So, you just mentioned that your company is present in 19 plus cities across Kerala and you're planning to expand it further. So, what is the challenges that an entrepreneur faces when expanding their business to different cities, and how did you overcome it?
There are two different kind of challenges that I have majorly faced,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to scaling. It is easy to run one store, two store, or three store where you can actually have that control in your hand. But if it comes to scaling of the business into multiple cities, that is too far. When you cannot go and visit that store, it is a lot challenging. So the system, the process, the team, these three things needs to be at its best. We have to take the technological advantages. So initially, that is what we have struggled with when we expanded. A lot of times, things didn't uh, we couldn't control everything about that store. But as we always say, we learn by doing it, and as we did it, we have actually solved a lot of challenges that came up with the scaling, especially about implementing the system and process. Once it is sorted, that was done. Now the second challenge that I have faced was about competitions. A lot of times, a lot of places, when we expanded, we were the first movers. Nobody was there in that city. But as and when that you know that if there is something that's actually booming a business, now everybody will come to it. It's actually a great phenomenon as well, because when there are more people in the market, there will be more people coming to the market for the purchase, so customers also increase. But initially it was a bit difficult for us to manage. But then one thing that has helped me is the philosophy that you should not focus on your competitors, but you should look at your competitor. It's like when you're driving a car, you have the rear view mirror. Now, if you focus on the rear view mirror, you're gonna hit somewhere. You really have to keep your focus on the road ahead, but you have to actually look at times what's there behind. So look at your competitors and focus on your own business. So that funda has helped me to work on our business better, to improve the quality of the product to the service, as well as everything that aspect. So when you start focusing on your own business, when there is a huge competition, that's the point.
Great. I would say that's a great phenomena that every entrepreneur should look into it. And yes, let's talk about ABBS a bit. How did your, how did your time at ABBS shape your journey? What do you think about
I'm so grateful that I have actually studied in that campus for a
it?
few reasons. One is we have got the best of the best faculties. That's something that I really have to mention. I can still recall every single conversation that I had with my faculties. So we have LRS Mani sir, who we call as walking encyclopedia. He was literally a walking encyclopedia. So you ask him anything, he will have the answer at the tip of hand. So that's LRS Mani sir. And we had Muthu sir, who was the financial genius. Any complicated problems when it comes to accounts, he will solve it as if it's a walk in the park. And he is such an extraordinary faculty that he ensure that every person in the class understand even the most challenging problems. And then we had Manikandan sir for the economics, then we had Dr. S Jayanti for HR. So all these faculties were quite amazing. Now, the second thing that has changed my life in ABBS was the habit of reading that I picked up from there. That was too compelled because of two reasons. One is our director, HR Venkatesha. Whenever he see any student, even in the corridor or even in the classroom, there is one thing that he will surely ask: where is your management book? So you are compelled to carry a book every single day in your bag,
Yeah.
and just because that you carry that, sometimes that you start reading. So that's how I actually picked up. We had a book reading session, book review session as well. So that helped me to be in love with books. And then I eventually ended up with spending a lot of time in library, and that is the second thing. And the third thing will be ABBS Toastmasters, definitely. I strongly believe that it's not just about knowing a lot of things, but it's about expressing it effectively in the stipulated point of time. A lot of times what happens, people knows a lot of things. We always talk about the scientist. When it comes to knowledge, they are the best in that. But when it comes to the communication of what the experience and the wisdom that they have,
Absolutely.
probably. So it's about knowing and expressing. So that's what I have mastered from ABBS Toastmasters. Now, I was not able to speak or understand the language English when I joined in ABBS, but ABBS Toastmasters challenged me, gave me the opportunity, gave me a platform to fall on my face, to make my mistakes and learn from it. So these are the three things that literally changed my life, I would say.
And you were one of the founding members of Toastmasters Club, if I'm not wrong, right? Yes. So, the students, those who are planning to join ABBS, what would be your message to them? Like, should they join Toastmasters Club, and how is it going to help them in future?
Perfect. So this is one topic that I can talk for a day. I'll cut short it and like make it very crisp. So basically, it's just about one thing: the certificate. that you are getting from the university is not something that is going to give you the job. So I'm sure that you must have paid a certain amount as the fees for this course, and that's something huge. But if you don't improve your communication style, if you don't improve your language, if you cannot speak in front of the public, whatever the amount that you have paid for this course is not something which is going to give you back the return out of it. So we are learning masters of business administration. If you are talking about return on investment, I would say the return that I have got when it comes to the percentage that I have paid for the fees and what I have paid for ABBS, I have got X returns from the Toastmasters Club. So it's not about the certificate, but it's about how well you can articulate what you have learned from this course. So it has to go both hand in hand. So that is something every student should at least know or learn how to speak effectively. Now, ABBS Toastmasters, especially, I still remember my ABBS days, Toastmasters days. That is one community that gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of other people who are outside the college, who were working in prestigious companies of this nation. Now, it's not about only ABBS Toastmasters. If you are a member of ABBS Toastmasters, you can go out. There are hundreds of community clubs in Bangalore. You can go to any club. You can attend the meeting. You can meet people. As we always say, your network is your net worth. So that is one platform that I have built a huge network. I have got introduced to Toastmasters from TCS, CFO of TCS, and to that level we could actually connect from this fraternity. The network, the leadership, and the communication skill. These are the three most important skills that is going to change the way that you look at your life, that way that you look at the corporate world. It will prepare you for the real world. It will prepare for what exactly you can expect after this. You have bought an elephant, so you have to buy that stick which controls, which actually gives you the return back that you paid for that elephant. So join Toastmasters.
So, what would be your three lessons, that you have learned through your journey that can help students of ABPS to excel in their career?
Definitely, this is one thing that two things. One, it's not about syllabus. It's not at all about syllabus. Syllabus is just foundation. This is something that we always talk about, but what happens when we are students, we just don't get it.
Yeah.
We will have to go out to the world and face the real challenges. That's when we realize this is actually true. But please take it. It's not about your syllabus. It's not about what you learn from the books. Yes, that's a foundation. But beyond that, you really have to read a lot of management books. So that is one thing that will just change a lot of things for them. And the second thing is definitely about communication. Because when I look back to my early working years, I have joined in that company as the assistant store manager, and within 2.5 years, I got promoted as a store manager when there was assistant store managers who have been in that role for 6 to 8 years. They have been working in that same role. Now, what helped me is not only the knowledge. I strongly believe what differentiated me from the other people is the way that I express and the way that I lead people. So leadership, communication, that is going to be the game changer for anybody.
Yes, yes, of course. And especially for management students, communication is an integral part.
Exactly.
But it doesn't only stay with the management student, it also is applicable to other fraternity and discipline student as well. Because as you have mentioned, like scientists, they are aware of a lot of things. But when it comes to communication, when it comes to science communication, they are not that good, I would say. So that's why communication is applicable absolutely to all the fraternities.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
Yeah. All right. It was really an insightful conversation with you. And thank you so much for joining us in today.
It was my pleasure. As I said, it was like reliving those memories in ABBS, as well as it was a lot of reflection. It's always inspiring for us also to look back and see the kind of journey that we have taken. So thank you so much. I should thank you for having me here and making me think about all those good times that I had over there as well. So it was fun. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Thank you.